If you're curious, the title on this one is definitely B-Ball, not B-Ball. On the Japanese packaging, the title is in English. Now, as for why it's B-Ball, that I couldn't tell you. B-Ball is an original puzzle game created by absurdly prolific, yet still somehow fairly obscure developer, Now Production. A developer for hire who turned in pretty good work for literally everybody. Just at this point in 1990, they had already had games released that they developed for Namco and Capcom. The US title of Chuman Fu didn't just come from nowhere, it's the name of the evil wizard who took over Seinaru To, or the Holy Towers. That's a group of 5 conveniently themed towers that all have 10 puzzlish floors. So yes, that means there's 50 puzzles in this game. Another wizard came along to try to stop him, but the towers had already been sealed by Chuman Fu's magic, and so the wizard's apprentices, Ling Ling and Ron Ron, went in. No, I don't know why the apprentices could go in when the wizard couldn't. The way that the game works is that every stage has a maze-like layout, and there are 4 colored balls: red, blue, green, and black. Your goal is to get the holy ball, and yes, that's what they're called, to the holy plates. And yeah, they really didn't seem to have a whole lot of creativity for the naming scheme here. Put each ball on the plate of the matching color, and you go on to the next stage. Of course, it's not that simple. You have 2 methods of moving the holy balls. The one that you'll be using most of the time is pressing button 2, which will let you roll around a ball that you're next to. This is not a unidirectional process. Unlike Sokoban, you can move balls backwards and turn them around corners. But the one thing you can't do is pass through it. On the other hand, enemies can't pass through the holy balls either. Well, unless they're spawning in which case they're allowed to walk right through them. But otherwise, they have to maneuver around them. So it's possible to get trapped between an enemy and a ball, but it's also possible to trap enemies. On the other hand, if you want to do some damage, then button 1 kicks a ball. Kicked balls travel in a straight line. They don't go around corners, but they can rebound off walls and come back towards you. Also, if you hit another ball, then it'll work like a Newton's cradle. The ball you kicked stops, and the ball it struck starts moving. There are 2 reasons that you'd want to kick the ball. First, it can destroy enemies. And second, it can destroy walls. You do have to be able to kick in that direction. You can't kick the ball sideways. So you can't knock an emergency exit out of a corridor, or kick the ball into an enemy that's chasing you. When it comes to kicking, the holy balls are not the same. The red ball can kill even the toughest enemy in just 1 hit. And the black ball will do extra damage to walls, letting you smash through them more quickly. The blue ball can be kicked further, bouncing around much longer. And of course, the terrifying green ball is the average one, dead in the middle. Nothing special about it. Unfortunately, the way the game is structured, the only holy ball whose abilities you can really take advantage of is the black one. Enemies respawn after a few seconds, so the red ball doesn't wind up being very useful. The blue ball is worse than useless, since it takes forever to do anything that you need. And the green ball is just kind of there. You have to move all 4 of them to the holy plates, so it's not really like you can choose which ball you need for which occasion. You've got to handle all 4, and 3 of them aren't especially effective. A good strategy on later stages is to just run over to the black ball and open up as many paths as possible. Once that's done, get all of the other balls into position. There are plenty of stage features that can change what's happening. Sometimes these are hidden inside walls and you'll have to smash them open to find them. And in all of the cases, you just need to walk over that spot in order to collect it. On some stages, the holy plates are invisible until you collect the scroll. So obviously, that's going to be your first target on any level where that's happening. You can find plates with little colored dots on them, and that changes all of the balls to match that color. After about 10 seconds, they'll revert back to their original color. The level can't be completed while the balls are different colors, so keep that in mind if you use that ability. The amulet will protect you from a single hit from an enemy. These amulets are very common on stages, which means unless things are going very badly for you, you'll almost always be able to soak up one hit. The stopwatch freezes all enemies in place for a few seconds. That'll give you plenty of time to maneuver things around. And collecting the fireball will kill all enemies on the screen. Naturally, they'll all respawn in a few seconds, but again, it gives you a window of opportunity. Then there's a variety of wall damaging abilities, things that set off an explosion that will shake all the walls in the area, or blow out all of the walls in a line. Getting more room in that maze to maneuver is good, so those are very useful items. When you complete a stage, you meet Ling Ling and Ron Ron's master, and based on how well you did, he'll award you a certain number of gems. If you find yourself with no extra lives, then he'll exchange 5 gems for an extra life. On the other hand, if you manage to collect 30 gems, then he'll offer to exchange those for a bonus stage. On the bonus stage, you just want to smash through walls as fast as possible, because hidden inside some of those walls are extra lives. If you get a game over, then you can continue right from where you left off, but of course you lose all of your gems. And if you choose to not continue, then you get a password. Or you can choose to save your progress to the Tenno Koei 2 memory bank if you have that peripheral. B-Ball was designed with 2 players in mind, and if you play the 2-player mode, then you have to be careful not to trip over each other. It becomes very easy to accidentally block off your friend, or purposefully block off your friend if you're one of those players. For a more intentionally competitive experience, there's Kickball, which despite the title is actually soccer. This is a one-on-one match, and you can only kick the ball, so only use button 1. But you can move and kick the ball diagonally, and naturally block the ball with your own body. In this mode, you play to 5 points. There's no power-ups or anything like that. What you're seeing here is all there is to it. Finally, if the 50 stages that were included weren't enough for you, there is an edit mode where you can create your own levels. Here you press button 1 to place an obstacle, and then have to keep pressing button 1 to cycle through what that obstacle is. Select accesses the menu where you can save your progress or test out your level. This time while looking around, I found plenty of people who played and loved B-Ball. Several people also called out the 2-player mode as being extra fun, though I didn't really get a chance to try it out myself. The consensus was also that the game was extremely easy until you got to the second loop. I can kind of agree with that view. I reached level 30 in the hour I was playing, and I had barely played Chumonfu before. The biggest problem with B-Ball was that there are places where it's very difficult to maneuver, and I don't mean due to intentional level design. Ironically, anytime that things are wide open, you've got a bad tendency to get stuck. It seems to be due to fine positioning relative to the posts. I had a lot of trouble maneuvering in those situations. I also felt like the color ability gimmick of the balls wasn't really used well. Like I said, just due to the way that you have to maneuver all 4 balls around the maze, and how enemies respawn, which color does what winds up being almost totally irrelevant. Still, I think B-Ball was decent. It's got enough going on that I think it's enjoyable. It's worthwhile to kick him in these balls.